Maybe a few more questions. The old man picks up. Got nothing better to do, he says. He told me all he remembers. They were briefly neighbors until Leo left to attend a local university. Already asked. He doesn't remember what it was called. Something with 3 letters. So what happened next door? He sighs. A few years ago, the landlords hired a company to renovate it. They never completed the job, and the place was left to rot. Is that why it's boarded up? No, he says, the orphans are to blame. They set up camp next door. They rummage through bins, break into empty properties, even try to sell him his own rubbish after he throws it out. Scavengers, he calls them. No good scavengers. Could they be selling items found at number 17? Of course, he says. They'd sell you their own mothers if they could. Not that they have any, I say. No response. What did they find in the house? He recommends I ask the orphans directly. I thank him for his time. Be careful out there, he says. I venture a few questions. Conversation proves difficult. I'm not sure we speak the same language. Or maybe he has no interest in talking to me. I take great care to ensure he gets the point. Number 17, you. Find. Me. Buying. A light is switched on. He reaches into his bag, revealing worthless junk. A bundle of pens, elastic bound, rusty motherboard, ancient photo frame, chipped wood, slim pickings. I toss him a coin for his trouble. I think he's done. He just waves at the objects on the ground. Got to admire the salesmanship. No need. It says ULS on them. The old man mentioned a 3-letter university name. Long shot, but worth investigating. Fail to see how that would help. I can talk into it. Need to ring it first. I mentioned the initials. Do they sound familiar at all? ULS, he says. That's the University of Life Sciences. I vaguely remember reading about it. Some riots halted construction a few years back. The building now appears simultaneously demolished and incomplete. seem to be wired to anything. They're looking at me. Tipped on its side, rusting. No idea what it says. Unfinished project. Several parked two-wheelers. I wonder who's in there. I don't get it. Music's blaring. She slurs her words, won't stop moving. From what I gather, she's been dancing for 56 hours straight. All of them have. It's her event, she explains. Insomnia, a monthly gathering. Like-minded folks testing the limits of sleep deprivation. No stimulants, she says, just music and light. Kids these days. Anyway, time for questions. I ask if the name sounds familiar. It does not. She doesn't need to be asked about that. Why did she choose the university? I thought it was a church, she says. far gone. I salute him. No response. A notice about parking vehicles. Some content is missing. Final notice. Vehicles without authorized, forcibly removed from the please ensure necessary before parking outside the temporary address forwarding. Biochem, 7A Market Street. Biophysics, 64 Signmakers Yard. Ecology, 86 Keshwang Place. Ethics of Biology, 341 Belvedere Heights. Virology, 65C Crofton Place. Please confirm with office before. This one is upside down, following last week's. All purchased equipment. That won't get me far. Please ensure you necessary preparations. Mass-produced plastic. Nothing unusual. X, Y, and Z physiology mostly. Q to R. A large section on quantum physics. The C to D section. Books on cell and developmental biology. Looks like the bookcases are not in alphabetical order. I need to look for something specific. G and H for histology, whatever that is. O for optogenetics, P for pharmacology. So much non-digital data. K and L, mostly for kinesiology. AB, animal rights, biology, and a large section on bioethics. Definitely dead. They've been emptied. Same old model as mine. Nobody bothered stealing it. An alphabet of sorts. Maybe it's just abstract. I wonder where it leads. Large hole in the screen of this one. A faded printed note. Statue project led by Dormer. Proposals by Friday. Led by a certain Dormer. This has to be a coincidence. Or is it? I wonder what the statue project is. A sketch of a statue. Some kind of insect playing the harp. Someone annotated it with a red pen, suggesting the design was approved. The same person also penned a playful acrostic. B is for brilliant. I is for intellectuals. O is for of. E is for exponential. T is for ta. There used to be more, but the ink has bled. Unknown spilt liquids. 2 copies of the same memo. One more faded than the other. Terminal blacklist, students protest. Anderson A. Ange L. Betty G. Chopra D. Chun L. Dama W. Do L. D. The rest is illegible. Looks like it's been emptied. Filled with junk. A small-scale version of the university includes a statue of a torch-wielding man. There's a quote on the miniature plaque, so that society may gain wisdom as fast as science gathers knowledge. It must be one of the proposed designs. Was my brother the dormer in charge of the project? Did he approve it? The symbolism might be significant. The acrostic could also be a clue. Nothing helpful there. Books on immunology mostly. I to J section. Most of the books in here must be forbidden by now. Explains why nobody raided the place. Books on topics starting with E or F. Loads on ethics and ethnography. Structural, synthetic, and systems biology. All topics found in the ST sections. M to N. Books on molecular stuff and nano things. AB. Animal rights, biology, and a large section on bioethics. BIOET. It must spell bioethics. I browse several publications on the topic. One catches my attention. Academic paper on toxic fungi, military operations. Weaponized mycotoxins by Amrita Thomas. But it's the endorsement on the back cover that stops me in my tracks. A quote by Neo-Noir, PhD, author of Sinking the 30 Oars Ship. Professor of Bioethics and Ethics of Biology. About parking vehicles. Some content is missing. Addresses to forward mail to various departments. No mentions of bioethics. But there is an address for the Ethics of Biology Department. 341 Belvedere Heights. I expect it might lead me to a colleague or fellow professor. But this is Leo's home. Circles the entire property. No energy curfew. Sign of a wealthy neighborhood. Digital keyboard, built-in chatbot. I tap the screen. Who are you visiting today? My fingers slide into metallic slots. The machine drills. Genetic match. See through this one. Toddler-sized. Cheerless in the rain. Can't see through it. Dust-covered windshields. I don't think they've been driven in a while. covered windshields. I don't think they've been driven in a while. Too high to see. I think it's unlocked. I knock. No answer. It's unlocked. I make my presence known. The call is met with complete silence. It reads, now death threats, wiping footprint. Uncle L in panic room, signed M. Marble musical instrument. Looks antique. 2 series of numbers are engraved. 6998 and 4543. Still warm. Freshly brewed pot. Tempting, but no. Remember, Panoptis, not in your average shopping list. Well stocked. Nothing noteworthy. End-of-life technology. I thought it was illegal. It's empty. Antique brass spyglass. Can't see anything with it tonight. Can't tell if they're waves or clouds. How? Manual model. I don't need to. Ancient seafaring vessel. The painting isn't signed. Just going around in circles. Data destruction cycle incomplete. 186,570 files successfully deleted. Some files could not be deleted. There's nothing for me to do. Quite the private collection. Many of these books are banned. A lot to choose from. Anything specific? As expected, a vast selection of books on the subject. Abstract. That thing again. No need to pick it up. The smell brings back memories. Nothing important. No need. Exotic. moving platform designed for reduced mobility. Dear Professor D, you'll soon be back to your old self. Multiple signatures. Inessa. Min. XT. Esteban. I can just read it. Hard to see. Must be the panic room. I try knocking. No answer. The panel will open it. It wants a password, of course. Digital keyboard, prompting me for a password. Digital keyboard, prompting me for a password. Could be it. No, the book title doesn't work. Maybe she knows the password. Maybe she is the password. No. Maybe his old address. No luck. Anything to do with the disciplines? I'm not certain. Antique secretary desk. They're expensive. Stationery, notepads, batteries. Nothing useful. There's nothing for me to do. I hope it's one of the remaining files. Leo's original university application, titled Why Bioethics Matter. They liked it so much that it was printed in the university newspaper. Not sure how. Leo's original university application, titled Why Bioethics Matter. They liked it so much that it was printed in the university newspaper. Yes, he applied hard to study the disciplines. Hard to see. Must be the panic room. It now asks a security question. First published piece. There's nothing for me to do. Looking for what? There's nothing for me to do. Leo's original university application, titled Why Bioethics Matter. They liked it so much that it was printed in the university newspaper. They did publish it in the university newspaper. It was called Why Bioethics Matter. Okay, one down. Security question 2 out of 3. Mother's birthday. I know that one. There. Nice of Leo to finally include her in his life. Security question 3 out of 3. Grasshopper lover. No idea what it means. And it's not even a question. A grasshopper. Maybe the insect is meaningful after all. Statue Black Draft number 1. Incomplete wish, robbed of humanity. Metamorphosis, music playing insect. Myth of Tithonus, so that's who the insect represents. mentioned on the statue plaque. Didn't work. But I feel like I'm getting closer. Didn't work the first time. Let's see. 2 books with his name on them. Immortal morals. Ancient myths and beliefs. Viewed through a modern scientific lens. Sinking the 30 Oars ship. Preempting the shortcomings of the biohacking revolution. Focus my search. Sinking the 30 Oars ship. Preempting the shortcomings of the biohacking revolution. Immortal morals. Ancient myths and beliefs. Viewed through a modern scientific lens. Indexed, cursed lover of Eos, goddess of the dawn, begged the gods to grant him eternal life, yet forgot to ask for eternal youth, often represented as a cicada or grasshopper. Grasshopper, lover of Eos. That must be it. Grasshopper lover. Eos. by erosion. Gravity-defying shapes. Sculpted by erosion. They almost look hand-carved. Gravity-defying shapes. Something about this specific formation. Truly resembles the three numbers. This is how I make it to the oasis. Green crater in the heart of the desert. It's gravity. It pulls me. Rebellious streak in her. She should be chewing gum. What are you? She asks. I tell her I'm a reporter. A dog chasing her tail, she says. What's a reporter without news? I'm not sure. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says. One of many confusing conversations here. My interlocutor can volunteer information. My information doesn't quite reach them. A bundle, sliced into thin strips. It's to pound vegetation into pulp. Freshly made, sun-dried. Full of water, floating fibers. Freshly made, drying in the breeze. Tracing symbols, the focus of a scholar whose eyes were trained on fine print. Strange scribbles. Her work. I can't tell if it's an alphabet. Mathematics? It's bigger than that, she stammers. I mention Leo. She exhales. History, she begins. The thing with people. The complexity of the answer overwhelms her, like she's failing to be exact with her wording. Wrestling with ungraspable concepts. Still, no clues about my brother. I ask if the name sounds familiar. I can see I'm confusing her. Seems genuinely puzzled for a beat. What can she tell me about Phoenix Springs? She launches into and aborts multiple metaphors. It's hard to follow. Something about the taxonomy of chemicals. I realize she's talking about the name, not the place. Carved stone slabs, towering painted figures. One eye closed for perspective, gauging a big scale with big hands. I clear my throat. I will answer, he says, as if handing out gold. I ask about my brother. Nature takes substance and makes a horse, he explains. Melts it down for a tree or a person. I am nature, he says. Carbon dated to eons. What does he do here? Sculptors must see from all sides, he says. Like time, we remove more than we add. Very close to talking about himself in the third person. Heard the name before? Prompts him to gush about himself. His art, his process. Says he birthed every rock here. The dust calls him by name. That'll do. The work, he says, will be unrivaled. An art form that doesn't have a name yet. Good luck to him. Vacant stare. Just sitting there. Potpourri of dehydrated petals, fruit, bark. The smell is somewhat domestic, like scented candles or a relative's washing powder. Soot-stained hearth. Does he live here? No, he says, I'm trying to escape. I tell him the door isn't locked. That's why my plan will work, he says. My plan is patience. Right. Can I ask him questions? Wait long enough, he says, and the answers come to you. He doesn't speak again. Full of water, floating fibers. Imposing, unusual ring pattern. Sturdy, ancient structure. The wooden guardrails have a glossy sheen, polished by 1,000 palms. Picture of health. Lean limbs, clear skin. Seems as ancient as the mountains themselves. I'm stretching, he says. So I see. The secret is to extend past your standard range of motion. There is a binary between mind and body, other and self, matter and form, sacred and profane, imaginary and real, chaos and cosmos. He goes on. The man can talk, but not listen, apparently. Reporter's hunch. Some of these folks aren't worth my time. Thought they were apples at first. but there's a smoky, acrid fragrance, like an old train station or forest fire. Head-sized, tough, shelled fruit. The ripest ones smell zesty and sweet. More a bush than a tree. Its berries have a briny, fishy aroma. Some kind of plums. The emanating smell is rich, wholesome, like toasted grain. Monk-like. I sense impatience, though. He asks, why is it so hard to get a straight answer these days? It's all disjointed here. I tell him I've just arrived. I can't trust anyone, he says, moping. Those trees by the river, they weren't there yesterday. Calm, calming. Calm, calming. Pointy, orchid-like. Strong smell I can only describe as medical. Cleaning fluid or disinfectant. Poppy-shaped, yellow. Rancid smell, like a smoker's lips or fingertips. Eccentric posture. Stroking petals as if coaxing an alley cat. Her patience only extends to the flowers. She shushes me with full force. They won't blossom before the moon, she says. Striking black petals. Their perfume has a mouldy tinge, but not unpleasant. Reminds me of the earth after the rain. Cyan beauties, but the stench, like sour sweat. Bright red, but with a green smell. Herbaceous, mint or dill. Why? Plain roses with a woody smell, like a mixture of sawdust and tree sap. The rocking of an addict outside the clinic. I don't recognize the melody she's humming. I ask if she's okay. She shoos me away. You're making me forget the tune, she says.